Okay, to get started with the building of the line, there's a few fundamental starting pieces, and you'll see them in front of us here. Firstly, there's the length of the line, which we call the y-axis, and there'll be slots 1 through to 22. And then there's the cross sections of the line, which will be slotting into the lengths, which we call the x-axis, which would be have correlating numbers which slot into these various slots. And then from there we have the front leg pieces and the back leg pieces that will be supported by these specially developed pins in order to keep the line together. Cool. So to get started with making the line, we need typically about 3 people. That would be the best, but we're going to try to do it with 2 people. And the first thing is to take the x-axis number x9. You'll notice that the labels are on the inside here. And x-axis number x14. You'll see the label there. And slot them into their corresponding Y slots, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 and 14, which is here. So let's get started by doing that.
Yeah.
Now we're going to put the legs in, and you'll notice there is a 14 here which correlates with the x-axis of the 14 too, and that goes into the back section, back slot. And then finally, as you can lower it down, I mean you can't, lock in the pins. It's quite a tight flush fit to make sure it's very secure. So that's the initial stages of the hindquarters of the line. And you repeat for slot X9 on the front quarters of the line. Thank you. Now I'm just slotting the pin through to secure the front quarters of the line. And there we go. The initial stage is done. The next step is to now slot in the other 2 legs, so that completes the leg section, and then secure it by putting the foot elements in. I'm going to grab it for you.
I'm erasing them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Open.
Okay, drop that down. I'm just going to secure it with the pause section. These are the pores. They'll be labeled front pore and back pore for like FP and BP. And there's slots in here.
There's two. It's the end caps now.
Yeah, so just place the end caps on for aestheticals. Great. Let's get the hindquarters final legs on. It's important to make sure that the person supporting it supports the loose legs while it's up. Lower it down. Okay, now the line is structurally complete, and we can now start to add in all the X elements, which are the cross sections of the line to fill it out. So it ranges from the nose, which is X1, all the way to X21, which is the last bit of the tail. Jesse, you do these X, start from the, and I'll start from the back.
Okay.
You'll notice at times it'll say 15.1 or have decimal figures. That's because there are several components that go in the same axis. So for example, here, this last bit of the tail has x15.1, and there'll be x15.2, x15.3 in the same axis. These are those components that live on the same axis. And where possible, we've made it go from left to right relative to the line. So F15.2, then F15.3. That's typically how we've been arranging it.
So 13.
13 belongs here.
Yeah, there we go. So
ones with the several slots in them need a little bit of manipulation, as there's several catch points if you look along here and there and everywhere. So just bear with it and find its home as you go through. It shouldn't go through. Nice. As you'll notice, all the X elements are now in, and now it's time to fit in a couple of the Z axis elements which go across, which form the shelves of the line. These ones are a little bit sticky, but they will go in. The next components to put in are the rib sections which support the lower shelf, and they're labeled R1 through to 5, and they're identical, so you can put them on both sides. That's 5, so it's the smallest ones. So R1 goes in the front, and you'll see they just kind of clip in like that. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the last of the Z-axis shelves just kind of clips into these tenons here. And that completes the line. She's done.
There you have it. That goes together so easily.